Hello, everyone. Today we are talking about road rage. And I really want to talk about road rage because chances are, if you're an adult outside of a major city, you're driving a lot. So it's something most people have a lot of experience with. It's something I know I think about a lot. I drive a lot, so it affects my life. Recently, I was driving a coworker of mine home after work, and by the end of the drive, she commented on how calm a driver I was. And it's not really something I had thought about. I kind of see myself just as a normal driver. But when she said that, it kind of got me thinking. And since then, I've been noticing when other people drive me, their road rage. And in comparison, I guess I am a calm driver. That particular car ride with the coworker, there were two instances where drivers made some questionable choices, I guess, when driving. And I just didn't react to them. Well, I reacted physically, obviously, because I had to drive, I had to avoid a collision, but I just took note. That happened, and I moved around it, and that was it. And that kind of thing is kind of unusual when I'm driving with other people. When other people are driving me, I guess more specifically, they'll always have something to say. And it's almost normalized. You can't get through a car ride without a little bit of road rage. It's any drive that's over 20 minutes is going to have a little bit of road rage in it, which is not okay. It shouldn't be that poor drivers bring negative things out of us so easily and so often. I hate that road rage is such a common thing. And I hate that me being a calm driver was so unusual that my coworker felt they had to comment on it. My most recent ride where I was a passenger and I had a friend driving was with a friend that I knew had bad road rage, but it's not something I was paying attention to before I had this realization. And it was bad. It's almost an entire car ride filled with yelling at other drivers for minor mistakes, or sometimes not even mistakes, just yelling at them for the sake of it. And I don't understand why she felt the need to kind of be a little extra, in my opinion, when driving. If that's how you drive, that's your style of driving, more power to you, but road rage is such a useless thing, and it just breeds negativity for no reason. Did someone who changed lanes without a blinker really piss you off that much that you have to yell at them? And if it did, what is yelling in your car where they're not going to hear you gonna do? It's not going to do anything. It's a useless thing that is happening. Whether or not they change lanes by mistake or on purpose, you yelling in your car at them is doing nothing. They can't hear you. There's no point to that. And I'm not saying it's not annoying when someone changes lane without a blinker. Sure, it's annoying. But again, it's just such a useless thing to yell at a car that cannot hear you over a mistake that was made. It's in the past. Just take a breath and try to move on. And I wish I could say that this line of thought that I just explained was the only thing that stops me from having road rage, but it's not. I've thought about it logically, and sometimes in the heat of the moment, logic doesn't always come out. But something that does stop me from road rage, and this was kind of a switch I had about a year and a half ago on how I view other drivers on the road. And it's to view them with more empathy. And oh man, this is gonna be tough to explain. It's like imagined empathy. And I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but I will explain. So let's take the example of a driver who changed lanes without a blinker. A thought that comes to my mind was, hey, maybe their blinker's broken, and through no fault of their own, they changed lanes without a blinker. They changed lanes illegally through no fault of their own. They cannot see their blinker. They are the only person on the road who can't see their blinker. It's broken, and they don't know about it. Or you could be thinking like they're on their way to the mechanic as we speak, and maybe that's true. But for me, I just like to put myself in that situation. Like, what if that was me driving and I had a broken blinker? Would I want people to get mad at me because I changed lanes with my blinker that was broken? No, I wouldn't. And I'm sure you wouldn't want to be blamed for something that you had no control over. Your blinker's broken. You may be on the way to the mechanic as we speak. You don't know. And maybe they're not. But I like to give people like the benefit of the doubt. I always like to imagine people kind of in the best scenario. And this same sort of exercise can be applied to pretty much anything that happens on the road that might cause road rage. Like someone speeding and maybe switching in and out of lanes a lot. Sure, it's dangerous, and no, I don't recommend it under any circumstances. But actually, maybe there's one circumstance. Like if I needed to get to the hospital immediately and I had no time to call an ambulance, I needed to just go. I might be doing that. And I'm sure if you had a family member or a loved one that was seriously sick and needed to get to the hospital immediately, you would try and get there as soon as possible. You would try and do anything in your power to get them there to get treatment. But you can just do whatever brings you the most empathy or sympathy, for that person. For me, I like to empathize with someone who's speeding by I think a scenario where they're going to the vet because their pet is really sick. I really like animals, so to me that's like you go. That's like, please, I will move out of the way for you to get your animal to the hospital. So that's what I'm thinking when someone is speeding in and out of traffic. And ultimately, it's just small thoughts like that that will help you avoid road rage. Again, just heavy empathy. How would you feel if you were in this imagined situation? You know, you'd probably feel like you need to get there fast. And, you know, here's another example. So we went through changing lanes without a blinker. We went through speeding. Those are probably two of the most common ones that I experience of people doing things that kind of make me annoyed on the road. And then the third thing, this is the biggest thing that gets me annoyed, is tailgating. Now, this was really hard for me to justify for a while, even when I had justified other things through this kind of exercise that I was doing. And this was hard for me because whenever someone is tailgating me, I think any driver can say this, but it is genuinely concerning. It's scary. But I'm sure that person has no malice in their heart for you. They're not doing it out of spite. They're tailgating you because they need to go somewhere. I kind of use the same thing that I use to talk about speeding. So it's like they are an emergency. They need to go somewhere. I don't change my speed. Because chances are it's not that. And I'm not going to go high over the speed limit to accommodate this person. But it helps me kind of think of them in a better light, even if I do this. I keep my speed, and they'll take it in me. I'm just imagining that they're in an emergency situation. It's a dad who needs to see his daughter's piano recital that's happening right now, and he wants to get there to at least see the latter half of it. Something like that. Again, whatever brings you the most sympathy for the people around you. And I'm not sure this is an exercise that will work for everyone, but if you have any ways that you try to avoid road rage, I'd really like to know about them, because I mean, for me it's rarely an issue anymore. But if there are stronger ways to get rid of road rage, I'd love to hear them. And maybe this doesn't have to be stronger, but different ways to view road rage and to deal with it. So if you have road rage, I mean, I would try and take steps to get rid of it. It's just unneeded negativity in your life. And if you're driving often and your road rage happens often, then it's constant unneeded negativity in your life. And it's just better to be to be happy. Like why let other people's driving affect you in such a way? Give people a little grace. People are going through stuff. People have places to be and emergency places to be. People are getting their car fixed, don't have working blinkers. Just, give people always give people the benefit of the doubt. People I believe are good at heart, and in their soul they are good. So if you could just think of people as good, all people as good, it will make your life so much better. Yeah. So that is all I have, and I hope you guys have a great day.